For the first case study, we're going to find the distance between Mahalah Maimunah and Kuliah of Medicine. Introduction. IIUM Kuantan Pahang is a very big campus. There is a problem between the students regarding the distance that the student need to walk to get to the class. This is a major problem because the time taken for the student to get to the class will affect their learning time. This will make the students to come late to the class and affect their focus during the lesson. So for the case is, what is the shortest route for the students to walk from Kuliah of Medicine to Mahalah Maimunah? There are two objectives, which is the first one, to calculate the shortest route for the students to get to Kuliah of Medicine from Mahalah Maimunah, and the second is to save the time of the students to get to class. Problem statement. How many routes that are available for the students to get to Kuliah of Medicine? And secondly, which route will cost the shortest time for the student to get to Kuliah of Medicine from Mahalah Maimunah? There are 4 procedures that we have been through, which is the first one, we have print out the map for IIUM Kuantan Pahang. Second, we have identified the routes that often walk from Mahalah Maimunah to Kuliah of Medicine. Third, set up the grid on the map. Fourth, plot the coordinate of the route. We repeat the same procedure for other routes, which is we have totally 3 routes. So there are 3 routes that have been used by the CFS student in order to go to the Kuliah of Medicine from Mahalah Maimunah. So the 3 routes has been named route A, route B, and also C. In order to get the shortest route, we did some calculation by using this formula. In order to get the shortest route, we have been used the distance formula. For the route A, there are 2 checkpoints, which is A1 and A2. The calculation are as shown, which is we substitute all the coordinate into the formula and we use calculator to get the answer. So the answer for route A is 20.77 meter. For the route B, we also use the same method, which is we substitute every coordinate into the formula and then we calculate by using the calculator, and the answer is 14.12 meter. Route C also have 2 checkpoints, and the answer after has been calculated using the distance formula is 21.01 meter. So for the conclusion is, the shortest route in order to go from Mahalah Maimunah to Kuliah of Medicine, students should use route B because it is the shortest route, which only the total length is only 14.12 meter. In the Islamic perspective, in Islam, time is very important thing. We need to appreciate time and not to waste other people's time. Our beloved Prophet ﷺ said about time in hadith. There are 2 blessings which many people lose. They are health and free time for doing good. Hadith riwayat Bukhari.
Next, for case study 2, which is the suitable gradient for ramp for disabled person who is using wheelchair under the topic of trigonometry. There are ramps in almost every building in IIUM Kuantan. We had found out that every ramp at every building has a different gradient. In this case, we would like to calculate the angle of all ramps in order to know which ramp is the steepest and which ramp is the least steep. We studied the ramps that are located at Maimunah Studio, One Stop Student Center, Library, and also at Kuliah of Allied Health Science. We want to compare ramps in IIUM Kuantan with the standard measurement ramp with ratio of 1 to 12. The objectives of this case study. The first objective is to identify which ramp is the steepest and which ramp is the least steep. And the second objective, we want to calculate the suitable gradient for the ramp to ensure the safety for a disabled person who is using a wheelchair. For the procedure, the first procedure is we identify the location of ramps in IIUM Kuantan, and then we measure the height and length for every ramp that was chosen. And the third procedure, we calculate the angle of ramps using trigonometry. For the calculation, we will know the angle of every ramps and also the ratio of every ramps. The first place, which is at Maimunah Studio. Firstly, we measure the length, which is 3.49 meter, and the height is 0.45 meter. Using trigonometry, we choose tangent, so it will be tangent theta equal to 0.45 meter over 3.49 meter, and then we can get the theta is 7.35 degree. With this angle, we could conclude that the ratio of these ramps is 1:8. And then we repeat the same method and the same calculation to know the angle of every ramp at library, Kuliah of Allied Health Science, and also at One Stop Student Center. After calculating, the angle of ramp at the library is 9.78 degree with the ratio of 1:6. Meanwhile, at Kuliah of Allied Health Science, the angle of ramp is 4.66 degree with the ratio of 1:12.3. And the last one, at One Stop Student Center, the angle is 10.23 degree with the ratio of 1:5.5. After calculating all the ramps that had been chosen in IIUM Kuantan, we had found out that ramp at One Stop Student Center is the steepest with the angle of 10.23 degree and the ratio of 1:5.5. Meanwhile, the ramp at Kuliah of Allied Health Science, which is at the back, is the least steep with the angle of 4.66 degree and the ratio of 1:12.3. However, we had figured out that all ramps in IIUM Kuantan do not follow the standard measurement of ramp with the standard ratio of 1:12. On top of that, we had prepared solutions to overcome this problem.
The calculation for the first solution, which is at Mahalah Maimunah's ramp, is that we first convert the original ratio to become the standardized ratio, which is 1:12. By using 0.45 meter height, we would get 5.4 meter length. Next, we calculate the new angle by using tangent alpha equal to 0.45 over 5.4. Tangent alpha is equal to 1/12. And alpha is equal to 4.76 degree. We repeat the exact same calculation into all of the solution for each and every ramp. So the ratio for the library is 0.15 to 1.8 meter, and the degree of inclination is the same. For the ramp at One Stop Student Center, the ratio is 0.975 to 11.7 meter, and the degree is also the same. For the last ramp, which is at the Kuliah of Allied Health Science, the ratio is kept the same because it meets the standardized ratio. From the Islamic perspective, from Abu Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam say, "Whoever releases a believer's affliction, surely Allah will release from him a hardship on the day of resurrection. Whoever make easy the affairs of others, surely God will make it easy in the world and in the hereafter. Whoever covers the disbelief of a Muslim, surely God will cover his disgrace in this world and in the hereafter. God always helps his servant as long as his servant likes to help his brother. Narrated by Muslim. As a conclusion, the suitable gradient for RAM for disabled person who is using wheelchair is 4.76 degree with ratio of 1 to 12. So this case study had been concluded that all RAMs that we have studied in IIUM Kuantan does not meet the standard measurement, which is ADA requirements in order to build RAM.
Case Study 3. The suitable height of the bed at Mahala Maimunah. Students stay in dormitories while studying in IIUM campus. One of the facilities that had been given is bed. However, the bed is quite higher than the normal one. This leads to severe problems that can cause difficulty and discomfort to students while staying in Mahala. The objective. The first one, to identify the suitable height for the bed in Mahala Maimunah. Second one, to provide students with facilities that maximum comfort. Problem statement. First, what is the height of the bed at Mahala Maimunah? Second, what is the suitable height for the ergonomic bed? Procedure. First, measure the height of the bed at Mahala Maimunah. Next, find the ergonomic height for the product designer. And the third one, compare the height of the bed at Mahala Maimunah with ergonomic bed.
Okay, so for the calculation, first we find the dimension of the Mahala Maimunah bed, and then we find the dimension of ergonomic bed. Okay, so for the Mahala Maimunah bed, the length is 2.15 meter and the width is 0.95 meter and the height is 0.56 meter. So for the ergonomic bed, the length is 1.9 meter and the width is 0.95 meter and the height is 0.41 meter. We find the difference in percentage between Mahala Maimunah bed and ergonomic bed. So for the length, the difference in percentage is 113.16 meter, and the width between ergonomic bed and Mahala Maimunah bed is 100%, and the height of the Mahala Maimunah bed and ergonomic bed is 136.49%. So for the solution, since the problem that we face is about the height only, so we will find out the suitable height for Mahala Maimunah bed. First, we compare the volume of Mahala Maimunah bed between the volume of ergonomic bed. So 1.9 multiplied by 0.41 multiplied by 0.95 equal to 2.15 multiplied by x, which is the height that we want to find for the Maimunah bed, multiplied by 0.95. So we get the answer 0.74005 equal to 2.0425x. So 8 is equal to 0.36. So the next step is we find the percentage of the Mahala Maimunah bed and ergonomic bed. So for the Mahala Maimunah bed is 0.56, divide by 0.41 multiply by 100. So the percentage we get is 136.59, and for the ergonomic bag is 0.41 divide by 0.41 multiply by 100, so the percentage we get is 100. So the difference of height between Mahalah Maimunah bag and ergonomic bag is 0.36, and the difference in percentage of Mahalah Maimunah bag and ergonomic bag is 87.8 in height. Even though the new height does not have the same height as ergonomic bag, but somehow it gives the result that it much more closer, which is 12.2% than the previous height, that is 36.59% from the height of ergonomic bag. Hence, the height that is suitable for Mahalah Maimunah bag is 0.36. Okay, for the Islamic view based on Quranic ayat, Surah Ar-Rum, and of his sign is your sleep by night and day, and your seeking of his bounty. Indeed, in that are signs for people who listen. Verse 23. Thus, we need a suitable and comfort bed to sleep, so that we can wake up and feeling enthusiastic to do our work next morning. So, for the conclusion, students need to rest on a comfort bed so that they can give their 120% in their classes in the next day, as the rest is as important as working hard.